Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Oh So and So. Today we are going to do watermelons. So I know you have looked through your magazines and where they show you, this project you could do. So I found an old magazine, 2000. Okay, so it's not that old, 2021, and I looked in it, and I found where they show you can make watermelons out of styrofoam. So that's what we're going to do today. Okay, so the first thing, before you buy anything, check and see what you have in your craft stash. I looked for styrofoam and didn't find the thickness that I wanted, but I did get this stuff that it called for, the spackling, the lightweight, and this stuff at Walmart was $6.57. I taped it on the back so I wouldn't forget. And this is not too bad to work with. But when I got home, I was aggravated because I didn't get the styrofoam. I was looking through my stash. I should listen to my own, preaching, I guess. So I did find one of these. And I just divided it. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're just going to cut it. It says to take a styrofoam cutter, which I don't know if I've ever seen. I've just always just cut the stuff myself. So this is what we're going to do, but try to make sure you do it straight down, because if you don't, it's kind of, and of course, watch your hands while you're cutting. So while I'm cutting this, I also found in my stash a different kind of styrofoam, which I believe I like it better. Get that last bit. Okay, and then if you want to, you can take the other one and get off that. But you can see kind of how coarse it is. So I had another kind that was this, and this one is not as coarse. So I believe if you were going to do this project, I would pick this kind instead. So then we're going to take our lightweight spackling, and it looks like icing. So we're just going to take and cover our styrofoam. It's almost like buttering cornbread, ice in a cake. And that brings me to something else. Okay, so I was looking at these yesterday when I did like a little prep, and I was like, if you did not want to do watermelon, or if you wanted to do watermelon and something else, doesn't that look like a slice of cake or pie, cheese? So that's something that I'm going to try, because you know what? I believe I could decorate one of these as if I was going to use this as a pie. And since I'm in my trusty kitchen and everything is where I want it, where you take that, put that in the bottom, take some of this, add a little bit of paint to it. I think you could put it on the back as that decorative part, which, you know, I'm always trying to think outside the box, and that's what I came up with. Trying to get it as smooth as possible. You know, they say to do the sides, one top, the side, and the back. But for me, I think it's easier if I do a top, a side, and a bottom. So that way I have a little something to hold on to. Because it's going to take almost a good day for this to dry anyway. So you might as well make it easy on yourself. And if you really wanted it smooth, you could always add 2 coats. Okay? You can always get that part too. Because once I have put it on this, I don't want to put the excess back in because it will get those little ball things. All right, so I got it all nice and smooth. Trying not to go back over everything that I've done. So we're going to put this on our drying rack. And cleaning our knife. And then don't forget, after you finish covering, put the top back on this thing. Okay, so now we're going to start to decorate. And I already have one. It's all nice and dry. See, I'm curious. We are always curious. Let's get our paint out. And I just use the styrofoam plate. If you use the paper one, somehow your paint kind of seeps down into the paper. This way, it stays right on top. Okay, so here we go. Now, on the flat side, I would curve, and on the ends, straight. Getting it down into those little grooves. This would look so good after you did several of them to set a table up in the summertime as a display, because we don't eat that much at our table, so sometimes I do set it up, especially for the holidays and just something that you want to kind of play with. Now, in the magazine, it shows going down further, so you can do that. Just go back, add a little bit more. Of course, you don't have to do it exactly like the magazine. You can always add your own touch. Trying to cover up all the white. You have to wiggle your brush or do it back and forth, kind of turning it around, making sure. Okay, so that one is complete. So we're going to set it off to the side. But I am curious about this styrofoam. Instead of putting this stuff on it, let's see if it takes the paint. Not bad. Let's get a little more. And I'm using acrylic paint. Going back and forth. If you need to, dab it into there. See, it's not too bad. I personally think, cut one step off. Now let's see how it does on this end that's got a little more grooves. I don't know. If you wanted to, I think you could not do that step, depending on your styrofoam. And of course, what you have in your stash. I don't know, guys. What do you think? I think it's possible to cut out one step. Perfect. Okay, so now, the magazine says, which we all know, that the watermelon rind has 2 colors. And we're going to start off with the lighter color first. So, now where is it? Here it is right here. Already got my red, and the thing about this with the styrofoam, it seems like it takes longer for the acrylic paint to dry. We'll see how long it takes this one without this spackling. Okay, so now, get our paint out. It's about time to purchase some more of that. There. Woo! Well, you know what? I'm just normal over here. Okay, so let's paint the bottom and the sides. Using the edge of our brush to make a nice straight line. That's the one thing I do like about a square brush, that I can make those nice lines. Well, it's a beautiful day here in Tennessee. I hope it's awesome where you are. Birds, I believe the birds are starting to make their nest. I think one has found a hiding place in our gutters. Okay. Now, of course, each step I would suggest to let dry. Perfect. Okay. It's already starting to look like a watermelon. Okay, so now I'm going to put it back over here on my drying rack, which I got in this estate sale for 50 cents. I was so excited. See, it definitely works out to go to an estate sale and look at everything possible. All right, so we're going to move that over, prop that off to the end, and let's get one that is dry. So now we're going to do a darker green. And let's hope that this will work. I don't know how much we're going to need. I always seem to need more than what I think. Now, looking back at the picture, you know, we always got to do that to make sure. So, let's take the green. It's definitely green. I don't know if I like that green. What happens if we mix some more green with it? Oh, that's better. That's so much better. Definitely like that a lot better. Okay, so let's get going. See? See, now I painted this one probably an hour ago. And you can already tell that some of those little hidden grooves are not dry. And we all know that acrylic paint dries quickly. I'm going to do just a little bit up the side. You can tell it's windy. My wind chimes are playing us a song. Okay. Just a little bit more. It's been a while since I've made watermelons like this. Now I've sown them, especially for my show that's coming up next weekend. Okay, so now we've got that. Let's clean our brush. Okay, now we're going to go back to the light. And we're just going to do, you know, things like that. Okay. Now, as an artist, sometimes I want to sit and piddle and poke at it, but I know sometimes you need to leave it alone. Now we're going to go to the seeds, which always finishes this up. And it won't take a lot. Make sure that comes down a little bit. There we go. Now I'm going to be using a small brush. Okay. Let's see if I can not get my fingers dirty. Okay, so we're going to do kind of like a teardrop where it comes down. Okay. Kind of like that. Now we know that the seeds are not in a perfect row. They're kind of scattered here and there, but mainly toward the bottom part. So I'm going to do this. Okay. You can already tell I need to touch it up. So maybe I'll put one over here. And some on the ends. Because this is a slice. See how we started? And then we're just going to fill that in. I call this color book painting. See, we just filled it in, did like a little teardrop. Maybe I'll put one up just a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to go around holding, making sure we don't put our fingers in what we've already done. That one had like a dip in it. So we just kind of work with it. Maybe do another one close to it. Maybe I just put one on this end. Okay. What do you think? Kind of cute, huh? Let's see. Do we have any more red? Because you know, while you're working on it, to go ahead and touch it up. Just a little red. Now, so I guess I can't put this one down. I have to hold this one. That's the nice thing about doing it in stages. Don't finish one all the way because you're going to be like me standing here holding it. But I am curious about this one. Let's see if this has dry. Nope. I think it's just the styrofoam. It's going to take it a while. So allow extra time if you're planning to do this project. But I think we're pretty good. That was kind of fun. It's going to look so good on a plate. Even on your patio or your deck, just as a little accent, because I cannot wait to do my back deck for the spring and summer. I'm just kind of waiting. I'm kind of waiting until maybe the end of April, maybe 1st of May, something like that, because I know we'll probably get some more cold wind, and we're expecting snow this coming weekend. Now, if you wanted to, let's see, since we have a little time, let's see what happens when we add a little white. These bottles are kind of heavy. It won't take much. Okay. Now, we've got our little, and this is just something extra because they didn't show it, but that's the nice thing that you're putting your own twist to it. So I have that little small brush. I'm just going to get just a little bit on there. Can you tell? You can see it on my shirt. Where I give it just a little bit. Can you even tell it? Just a little bit on the seeds. Now, if you wanted to, you could always add a little bit of white to the bottom. Just a little bit. So you could put a little bit on your brush, kind of dab it. See, it gets, since it's still wet, can you tell? There. Okay. Sweet. Oh, hey, I even have, I told you when I set up my kitchen, I made sure I had everything close by. Look, I even got a metal pan. And I know this is wet, but the nice thing about metal, it'll wipe right off. Look, how cool is that? You are definitely ready for serving. Well, I hope you have an awesome day. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and that bell notification because you never can tell when I'm going to do another video. And don't forget to share. Alrighty, guys. That's it for today. Have a great one. Bye.